At 12 o'clock.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Andrew with PitchHub. We've got Jared on the line here, and then we've also got Dan Gandee. He's the VP of Growth at Liftoff Agent. How are you guys today?
Doing great. Thanks for having me. Great to see you, Jared.
Jared, I'm not hearing myself. Can you take over on the mic there and unmute yourself?
We can hear you perfectly, and I'm here at the headquarters of PitchHub. Just want to do a shout out. Last week we couldn't make it because we're under fire evacuation in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and just happy to be here. Happy to still, we believe our home is saved, and just so want to thank and give gratitude to the local firemen all over California, but especially the ones protecting our home and our area in the Santa Cruz Mountains. So as far as we know, our home is saved. We don't know exactly when we'll be back. So I am working here at the headquarters at PitchHub today, and it feels good to be thinking about something else other than emergency situation. But man, those firefighters are saving our butts right now, and I want to give a shout out to all the families that are in need. It is not an easy time with COVID, back to school, being parents, and now fires. It's like, how much more can life throw at us this year, right?
Oh man, well,
yeah,
you're safe. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm sorry to hear that you have family in the area too, Dan.
Yep.
Andrew, are you hearing us? You having technical issues? I know you're on mute right now. Can you hear us? Click. So I'm going to pick it up. So today we have Dan Gandee from Liftoff Agent. And Dan, do you want to do a quick intro about what is Liftoff Agent as you're the VP of Growth there in marketing? Being in marketing for PitchHub, I'm really excited to hear and speak with you today. So I want to let you have the floor for a little bit.
Thanks, Jared. Really appreciate it. We consider ourselves the real estate's positioning agency. So we are not a SaaS product. We are not a CRM. We are not your standard marketing solution that is trying to mass market to big brokerages and have thousands and thousands of clients all using it. A one-size-fits-all approach. So as a positioning agency, our primary product is positioning strategy and building a custom IDX website that can integrate all of the bells and whistles and positioning strategy that we saw was the biggest missing piece from real estate websites, property management websites, investor websites. So primarily, we build custom IDX websites. We provide a marketing platform. We automate all of their listing management, and as well as coach them, support them, provide them resources so that they can really pick up on the vlogging and really drive traffic back to their website and use their website as a tool in their business rather than a digital business card that we see all so frequent. So that's a little bit about what we do at Liftoff Agent.
For the non-real estate folk, just break down what's an IDX website.
So an IDX website integrates your standard real estate website, like your branding and your logo and who you are, and here's some testimonials. And an IDX website provides us that search capability. We partner with several different IDX providers, one of them being Real Scout in the Bay Area and a few others, IDX Broker and a couple others. But it's giving that seamless, full scale. You can do everything in your real estate website, from search to property alerts to home valuations to search in schools and doing all other different types of capabilities. So that's primarily what an IDX website is in the real estate space.
Cool, thanks. And I'm going to take over. I think Andrew's having some technical challenges, so I'm going to take over. So one of the biggest questions we get from agents is, how are people going to find me on Google?
Yeah.
If they go to Google and they type them in, how are they going to get to me and my brand and my website? So give us a little insight behind the scenes, tools you use, and some great best practices.
Yeah, for sure. Great question. So I think primarily it starts with having a website. If it's not in just the real estate space and it's a broker provided template site, even a GoDaddy or any type of website you can build yourself, Squarespace, the first step in getting found online is to provide yourself some sort of landing page to where you are. So having a website, having a logo, any type of branding development, getting that all done on the front end so that you can start to build a website presence is primarily the key to getting your name out there. The second key is really providing multiple other channels where people can find your name. If that's Zillow profiles, realtor.com, any of the database searching, Zoom business info. And then really where I want to go with this is that then the Google reviews or the Yelp reviews or any of the review capture websites that are also going to capture your name and your business and have backlinks to your website. So before you even go into any type of paid SEO or anything that's going to drive organic through marketing vehicles, I would say it's first getting that foundation set and then getting that word out about where you are, where you're registered. You make sure you have the Google business listing, and then you're really starting to backfill that with legitimate, real reviews that are going to rank you and give you a good Google trust score.
Yeah, do you feel like reviews is a key component of Google right now? Are they bumping that up
100%
in the strategy of finding you?
Yeah, if this was 3 or 4 years ago, I would say that you could pay to play and win the game. But now Google's been very, very smart about if you search best real estate agent San Jose, California, or best real estate agent Palo Alto, look in the Google business listings that come up underneath sponsored. And what you'll see is an eclectic mix of large volume reviews and then a few sprinkled in, maybe 1 or 2 Z reviews. But number one thing you can do that doesn't cost your business other than time and asking a client to do it is Google reviews.
Got it. Thank you. And I heard a statistic that it's like over 60% of people, if they just ask for reviews and just say, if you had an experience you'd like to share with us, let us know. We'd love to hear it. And then you give them an option to say, hey, if you have critical feedback, here's a non-public channel to send us feedback so we can update it and work with you. I think that's something we've used at Brickhouse Media in the past and, offered clients is saying, hey, if you got critical feedback, give it to us so we can make changes. If you got a really positive experience, something you want to share with others, here's a positive channel, Yelp, Google, Facebook, those public channels. So is that something you'd give a thumbs up to also?
Oh, yeah. We definitely encourage support, suggestions, feedback. And one thing I just wanted to briefly touch on is that we noticed that the capture of a review was always an obstacle for any business, right? You sell them something or you complete a transaction with them, and it's that ask that is really sometimes awkward for people or they don't know how to automate it. So really what we did is at Liftoff Agent, we created a review page within the website stack that had direct link outs that were right to their Zillow page to leave a review, right to their Google business profile to leave a review. If they have a Yelp, right to their Yelp page, they can leave a review. So they can just copy and paste, boom, 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 boom. And they can take that URL, drop it into an SMS text message. They can drop it in a template email that their assistant has. So the deal gets closed and it's like, send the review template email. And it's just like a 1-click copy and paste. It speeds up the process and makes things very seamless.
Yeah, making that easy and efficient for people. I think that has been the hurdle. And then getting over that, like, ooh, should I ask? Just ask. If you're proud of the work you're doing, you should ask people, right? It shouldn't be a challenge to say, hey, if you would like to leave a review, you don't have to. So that's great. So how about video blogs or blogs versus written blogs? Like, I know real estate agents and other folks, they're not always writers and videographers. So we're trying to give them tools to empower them to do these things. So what's your strategy take on video blogs versus text blogs or both?
Great question. And this is super important to the overall visibility of your business from social standpoint, from YouTube standpoint, as well as search standpoint. So first thing I can just deep dive down in and say, it doesn't matter what business. If you're an auto mechanic, if you're an insurance broker, you're a real estate agent, you need to sit there and say to yourself, all right, it's January 1st and I want to have 12 months of content that are going to be blogs? Are some of those going to be video blogs? Are some of those going to be written blogs? So maybe stacking that on maybe one every other week is a written blog and one every other week is a video blog. Time block it. Get it on paper. That's the number one tip I can tell everybody, because now you have a plan of attack of when you're doing it and how to execute it. The second thing I'd really say that's super important to this is like, what do I write about? What do I shoot a video about? So I always tell everybody is you got to think like the consumer walking into your business, that they've never done business with you. They're going to have a long list of common questions that people are always asking. They're going to have specific, really nerdy jargon or what I would say technical terms that they're not going to understand. So you're going to want to digest some of that content. But building a content plan that is around the consumer strategy, I think is the number one thing you can do. And then you can go into the video blogs that tell the customer story, the testimonials, something new you're working on to keep people energized and amped about your brand. But set up a Google document, a Google Sheets, or, and really just write down, here's all the questions people ask me. Here's all the cool stuff that we're integrating. Here's some of the problem solutions that I should discuss over the next month, and putting it all together and then saying, all right, well, let's break it down. Like, how many written should I do? How many vlogs should I do? And I think just letting everyone know it can be a hybrid of both. You can have an embedded video and then 1, 2, maybe 3 paragraphs tops. And if you're going to feature any type of link outs or backlinking, those are also going to help you with SEO. So create a good strategy, time block it, write it out, and then don't be afraid to be amateur. It doesn't have to be professionally done, but that's why we've been referring a lot of clients out to Andrew and you guys over at PitchHub. So
yeah, we're definitely, you should have been on our calls the last few weeks, because we'd broken down like what to shoot for content. So that was like dead on with, I love the idea of like calendar it out, get your ideas out of your heads. Because if you just say, I don't know what to think, if you just start writing and just start putting it out, I think it has way more value, and then you get the idea. So those are top 10 tips. And for video, we want to make it easier for people to make those more professional videos that you're not just holding on your phone, because, it does impact your brand, right? I mean, you guys are a brand agency. So we want to empower people, but we also want to, see if they can produce quality brand work. So we got a question from YouTube. How to convert social media audiences to purchases. How do we do that conversion process from social to an actual client?
It's all about traffic flow and magnetizing and using good content that we just discussed. If it omni-channel, right? If you do a blog, it's on your website, repost it to social media, comment on it, share, really get the audience involved. But really, the number one conversion happens is when you first grow an audience on your social media page. So if you start an Instagram page or a Facebook page and you spend 0 time growing an audience, your audience is like your brother and your sister and your neighbor. So really, you need to spend the time and think about this, is that I need to spend 1 or 2 years, and this is a long-term play, of building an audience in my local area that are going to be my potential customers or my potential audience. And then as you do that, really sharing authentic content, stacking it with really good vlogging content or native video. But how to get them over to convert is all about call to actions. It's all about call to actions. Here's a link to schedule in my webinar. Here's a link to get this type of discount.
It seems obvious, but for some reason people forget to, it's like the review thing, right? We forget to say, actually, here's your next step. And it doesn't have to be a hard salesy thing.
No, it's
like, if you like what you heard, get in touch with me. And so one of the things we do is we just put our email and our phone number in a lot of places so that, hey, shoot us a text if you want, make it easy for people.
And real quick super tip that I call, this is number one thing you can do. Jump on Loom or BombBomb, shoot a video to a potential customer, tell them exactly what's next, or on Instagram, push down the record audio message and send an audio message directly to somebody that you want to engage with, or they've engaged with your content and you've grown some relationship with, they got to see you or they got to hear you. The written text social media conversion has a lot less likelihood to really convert that opt-in or that subscription or that meeting. So
that's a great, we love pro tip. So that's a great super tip of like, just send somebody something personal, right? Don't just give them the automated canned response.
Yep.
I think people are getting excited about like Facebook bots, but it doesn't have that human feel, even though it can be very efficient to do that kind of stuff. So anytime you get a chance to do that human response, I love that. It's a great super tip. So we got another question coming in from Facebook. We did the how do people find me on Google. So if you have your website, and what are some SEO tips that are specific? Should I write every keyword in my industry in my pages? So let's dive a little bit deeper into SEO with Google and your website.
Totally. Without paying for paid, the first thing you can really do is having a homepage that really ranks is going to have some local, it's going to have the meta tags, it's going to have the keyword search and the terminology that's going to drive traffic to you. So say you're a real estate investor, sell your house fast in Silicon Valley, cash for homes, whatever it is. You need to make sure that you have a good stack of keywords that are potential. Think like your customer again. What are they searching, and how can I relay that information into my website? So keyword searching is totally cool, totally a way to do it on a free side. The second aspect of that, to go a little deeper, is backlinking. So if you're going to feature a vendor that you do business with or a referral partner, got a backlink. So if somebody's searching for them, they're going to somehow rank and find you. So backlinking is another big tool to this.
So Dan, I know the term, but what is a backlink?
A backlink would be like, I own a dry cleaning company, and I do a blog about wedding dress repair. I don't do it at my dry cleaning business, but wedding dresses repaired. You can, hey, Amy's, bridal does wedding dress, seamstress work, whatever it is. And here's a link to her website. She's brought us tons of customers, and we love to just give her a shout out. Here's her blog. This is a little bit about what she does. Here's her contact information, and here is her URL. That is a backlink.
And are you going to ask them to do the same for you? Are you going to make that request?
That request is going to 2x that backlinking capability. So if you're a real estate agent, for example, all your all-star vendors, your title company, your stager, your landscaper, your contractor that you work, your photographer and drone company, if they can have a backlinking relationship, that's really going to help with SEO. And you'd be amazed how many people just stumble upon you when searching those other businesses. So.
Got it. That was another pro tip. I love it. Because again, I think we get caught up. We know the lingo and we know the language, but it's good for people to be like, oh, I could do that 100 times. But you don't want to fill your post with all links too either. That's another thing. You want to make it readable and, friendly for the reader. We got another question from YouTube. Which social media campaigns offer the best ROI as far as investing in your social media, actually putting dollars on the table? Which platforms and which campaigns? Great
question. So Facebook and Instagram, if you're just starting out and you want to generate leads, lead forms, which are basically captured, great copy going into any type of opt-in, capturing name, email address, phone number, critical data, right? Those are going to be your highest ROI for the cheapest price because you can hyper-target to them in a specific radius. When it comes to long-term play, you kind of want to have a triple threat approach. You want to put money into audience growth and get likes and followers and really drive that Facebook following up by getting your word out, getting your page out there, and really circling your audience and your raving fans around you in a local zip code, local city. Another lead conversion campaign that works really well is a video that addresses like your number one, number two, number three major problem. You lead with pain. So if you shoot a video, Facebook parameter it out and put it on Instagram and Facebook, and you answer the number one problem that your customers have and what drives traffic to your business for a service, I think those have high ROI, because how many times are you scrolling and then it comes across something, you're like, wait, that happens to me all the time. Like, I didn't know you guys could fix this. So problem solution type ads. And then the third ad that I think converts the best with all of this is client testimonial videos. Interview a customer that has gone through the life journey of working with you, and have them just speak freely. Like, this is what happened. This is where I met them. This is what they charged me. This was the end result. And like, that's going to speak to your audience with such clarity that's where we see another highest conversion point. I just wanted to kind of preface this, that there's a lot of companies out there that'll promote your listings. They'll run blanket ads about video, or they'll run blanket ads about possible houses that you can buy in an area. Those generate curious people, but they don't generate loyal people looking to build a relationship now. So that's kind of the stuff we focus on.
Yeah, there's those people who are shoppers and buyers. You're going for mostly buyers. You're going to come across shoppers, obviously, with your lead magnet and your capture pages. So that's a perfect lead in. We got a question from Facebook. Let's talk about that sales funnel, bringing people, a wide audience, all the way down to that narrow audience of clients that you're going to convert. So you're going to get a lot of people coming. So what are you guys using as far as sales funnels, or walk us through an example of a sales funnel? Again, let's do the intro approach so people understand what the process is.
Definitely. So when we first started building websites, and you would build your standard buyer seller pages, what's your home worth, set up property searches, past reviews, maybe school resources, whatever it was, right? It was good info and it was good resources if somebody was vetting you out. But how to get the consumer to get there and then be educated was always, what's next? Like, where do I go? Is it just to schedule an appointment? So what we really did is we started integrating sales funnels within our websites, and it was directly correlated with positioning strategy. So I'll give you an example, and I'll give you an out of industry and an in industry example. So if you own say a Mercedes-Benz dealership, and you want to drive traffic to people to buy only AMG Mercedes-Benzes, as we all know, most expensive models they have, you would build a sales funnel about inviting people to an AMG event, and then getting them to that page, shooting videos about the AMG different models, providing why they're better, why you're going to pay more for an AMG. And at the end, a call to action of like, hey, do you want to download the sales literature for each AMG model? Do you want to schedule an appointment with our sales manager to talk financing? What is that opt-in? So out of my industry sales funnel really wants to raise awareness, capture people, get them interested, provide them with tons of information, allow them to make the decision based upon the info that you're going to already give them if they walk right into your dealership, and then ask for a conversion. But it can be like a light nurture conversion. They're not ready yet, but they just want to get on your newsletter, versus like I want to buy, throw me the keys conversion, which is going to be like, hey, schedule an appointment with Mark at the Mercedes-Benz dealership. He'll pull up the S550 and you can take it for a test spin. So
those are two really tangible examples that I think people forget. It's like, you're already going to be doing these things. You already have your sales materials. You can already schedule calls. Now just give people those options. What are some percentages people should be realistic about when it comes to funnels and conversions? So they're not feeling like, hey, I only got 5 people, but they're 5 qualified leads and 2 of them made a sale. So when you guys talk about conversions, what are some realistic points that help people?
So I'd say you kind of look at it like outbound calls. If you make 100 calls, you may get 5 interested people, 5%. right? And of those 5%, maybe 1 or 2 convert into a sale. So if you're looking at website traffic and coming to a sales funnel, I'll give you an in-industry example. We have a gentleman, I'll just say his name, Jeff Katz. He's a senior real estate specialist. So all of his sales funnels are based upon educating people about that life cycle. When you're aging, here's blogs, here's 1031 exchange information. He's giving you all the information to get you to, do I need to sell my house? I'm starting to age in place. And when you look at the numbers, is that he may have only 20, 30, 40, 50 people that come from a social media post, but he gets 1 listing. If he's trying to look at the SEO approach, and he says he maybe has 100 to 500 people that go to his website over a 1 to 3 month period, he may get 3 to 5 appointments from some people. But overall, it only takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deals to have your marketing ROI pay for that sales funnel for maybe 5 or 10 years. So one thing I just wanted to say is that don't ever make your sales funnel go stale. Always be integrating more information into it, shooting some new videos. If it's not working, A/B test, because we see a lot of people are like, yeah, set me up a sales funnel. And we're like, all right, well, we need this type of content from you. But then they're like, well, I need to think of it. And we'll think like a consumer. We need to be able to extract that information out of you to be able to pack it into a funnel so that you can get people and convert. But 1 to 3% is usually on a minimum. We've had some people, upwards to 5 to 8% of total visitor traffic at least opt in or download something. So
that's great. Yeah, because don't forget, once they're in your email list, you have an opportunity still. You might have an opportunity for years before they convert. So we had another question come in from Facebook, and obviously that's the megalith giant social media platform. So we're going to have to throw them some props. What is the best social media platform? And I want to put a caveat on that. Some people think, well, we're a business to business. We're not a business to consumer. So why would I go on something like Facebook? So maybe throw that in with your answer a little bit. If they're B2B versus a B2C business, and they think that's just not a platform I would use.
Totally. Great question, because I get this a lot from a lot of our potential customers. Where should I be focusing my time? Like, what platform should I master? Comes down to target market. So demographics and also locality, like geo targeting. So let's think about, I'm going to give 3 examples. For Instagram, one thing everyone needs to understand about Instagram is people from, say you're a real estate agent in Santa Cruz, California. You sell luxury homes on the coast, right? Well, everyone likes to look at luxury homes on the coast. So you could be in Des Moines, Iowa, or Alaska and get followers from all over the place. But are those really good customers that are going to be converting? Probably not. So you have to know where your audience is and how they're going to be following you and how to keep people from really jumping from platform to platform. So really what I mean by this is this. If you're a younger agent, you have tons of friends and family members, sphere of influence on, say, Instagram, keep doing it. Keep pushing content out. Really grow good DM etiquette. Really start to focus on building that channel out and go deep with it. But if you're an agent that has more experience, maybe you've been in the game a lot longer, the Facebook demographic seems to be skewing a little bit older these days because of adoption. So your Instagram audience is going to be that 20 to the 50 age, and your Facebook is going to be that 35 to 65 age. So buyers and sellers in the real estate space may be more on Facebook, right? They're going to be, downsizing or moving on. So what I'm really getting at is you got to understand where that audience is coming from and then how you're going to convert them. So Facebook, Instagram, 2 different demographics, 2 different audiences. You can argue either way depending on how much of an audience you have. But if your focus is sellers, I say Facebook. If your focus is buyers, I say Instagram all day. And then if your focus is good SEO and good driving traffic to vlogging content, build the YouTube channel in the same realm of importance. So,
Yeah, people forget that YouTube is a social video search platform.
Yeah.
And so don't forget to have a video branded YouTube channel. I noticed you didn't mention LinkedIn. Any
I didn't mention LinkedIn, not that because I don't put tons of weight into LinkedIn, but from a business to business standpoint, LinkedIn is great for sales from B2B. It's also good for real estate agents if they want to get their listings out and they have tons of real estate agent and brokers followers. But the one thing everyone needs to understand about LinkedIn, and I think LinkedIn's like probably the hottest platform right now, is that if you were trying to sell homes in Pleasanton, California, and you put all of your time in LinkedIn, every one of those invites has to be manually done. So unless you have thousands or hundreds and thousands of people that you've personally sent an invite to, they're never going to see your content. So it really comes back to target market. But if you're selling a B2B product, or you're selling consulting, or you're trying to recruit people, jobs, that type of thing, I think LinkedIn has super, super powerful message capability. But it's that, the one thing I always want to say about LinkedIn, it's the privacy gate that it's his biggest demise.
Yeah, no, I totally hear you. And it's not a low cost advertising platform. Let's be clear about that. It's really not. You got to pay to play for advertising there. So we're going to wrap up. I've learned a lot from you. So thank you so much for sharing your insights. I want to give you an opportunity. We put up your website here at liftoffagent.com. What do you want people to learn more about with your business? How can they get in touch with you with Liftoff Agent?
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Sure.
So two types of customers we really try to focus in on. One of them being the agent who's tried a lot of platforms and hasn't really spent a lot of time or effort branding themselves, either geo-specific or niche specific. So you don't hire a divorce attorney to be your bankruptcy attorney. People go to people that have authority and they're an expert in something and within that industry. So if you're a real estate agent that wants to take it to the next level, really wants to streamline and specialize in something, needs a rebrand, needs to get everything, a solid foundation set and a positioning strategy put in place, that's the first type of customer that we really shine with. The second customer that we really shine with is the agent that's getting some momentum. They have marketing budget money, but they're sick of using all the broker tools that keep them looking the same as everyone else. Let's automate some of this stuff. Let's take some stuff off your plate to save you time. And let's start building you a highly branded, highly sales positioned web presence that's going to generate long-term results. We're not your Zillow. We're not your give us $250 and we'll give you $250 in leads. We're your marketing partner, your resource partner, and somebody that you can email us. We have great support. Hey, I have a question. It may not be exactly what you guys do, but what's your take on this? We have a lot of experience with our partners that, we've worked for top brokerages, 1% agents. I think close to 50% of our agents are top 1% in the country. So we're kind of like the next level and the next step once you want to really deep dive and take your business to the next level. So
Got it.
really-
And I saw, I was on your website in preparation for our video. So I saw you guys do free consultations on your site. And I think that's a great way to just get the ball rolling, get some conversations going. So thanks for offering that.
Yeah.
Dan, it was great. And Andrew, I'm sorry you had technical difficulties. You were with us in spirit, and I've been chatting with him, just letting him know what's been going on. He's had some technical difficulties. This is just the game. You keep rolling, you keep going forward, and we're going to keep doing it. I want to send out a shout out to PitchHub users. Don't forget, you can actually use PitchHub on your phone. So if you're not using PitchHub, it's not a mobile download. It is just a web app, which means you just go to pitchup.com, sign up for an account. You can use your teleprompter right on the phone. I'm doing it right there. So it's a good example. If you have any other questions, reach out. We're trying to make video easier. That's how we want to do it. We want to make you escalate up to professional videos and make it a lot easier for you at PitchHub. So thank you, Dan. Thank you, Andrew. It was great seeing you. Be safe, everybody, and signing off for now. Take care.